What awaits us after the implementation of autonomous transportation? The movement of large masses of people through cities in fully autonomous vehicles is no longer a plot from a science fiction film. Achieving such a level of autonomy where humans no longer need to drive their own cars is just a matter of time, as well as legal and socio-economic regulation. It will likely take at least 10 years before human drivers are fully replaced by artificial intelligence. However, for now, autonomous vehicles are still far from becoming a reality. Discussions about the prospects and consequences of their implementation can be viewed through the lens of the classification of vehicle autonomy levels. LO level, no automation, a human controls everything. An AI only monitors the road and warns the driver of danger when deemed necessary. L1 level, driver assistance, AI takes on one function determined by the human driver, such as steering, cruise control, CAPS. L2 level, partial automation, AI performs several tasks, steering, braking, acceleration, but expects the human to monitor the process and take over if needed. L3 level, conditional automation, AI can fully control the vehicle, but the human must be ready to take over upon request. L4 level, high automation, AI can drive the vehicle throughout the trip, but only on roads and with an understanding of the surrounding environment. L5 level, full automation, no human driver is needed for any roads or environments. According to the Vienna Convention on Road Traffic of 1968, every vehicle must have a driver. Vehicles of levels L1, L4 do not contradict this requirement. However, the appearance of L5 level vehicles on roads requires amendments to the convention, which have been discussed in the expert community for the past few years. A complex question arises: who is responsible for potential problems? Is it the person who activated the autopilot, user, or the manufacturer, supplier, seller, or lessor of the vehicle as an indirect offender? There is currently no consensus on this issue. The final decision will likely be based on certain insurance mechanisms. However, it is clear that increased insurance premiums will become a significant barrier to the promotion of autonomous transport in the automotive market. Potential consequences of the mass implementation of autonomous vehicles. Positive consequences for users. Time savings from not having to drive. Reduction of driver stress. Increased productivity. While stress reduction can be achieved at levels L1, L4, time savings and productivity gains are only possible at level L5. This moment is historically significant because the cabin of a level L5 autonomous vehicle becomes a place for rest, communication, and entertainment for its owner. Another positive consequence of the widespread adoption of autonomous vehicles is providing individual mobility to those unable to drive themselves, such as minors, the elderly, or individuals with certain disabilities. The economic impact of autonomous vehicles will manifest in reduced labor costs for transport companies. However, this could also result in negative social consequences, such as job losses. This is still a topic of debate. Cost savings on drivers may not necessarily offset the expenses of acquiring and maintaining autonomous vehicles, additional equipment, and insurance fees. Problems and risks for autonomous vehicle users. The most obvious negative consequence for mass consumers of autonomous transport is the increased cost of acquisition and ownership due to additional equipment, services, and fees. This is due to two aspects. First, users are relieved from the need to drive. Car owners can do this today by hiring personal drivers, but an autonomous vehicle should ultimately be cheaper. The number of potential users of autonomous transport will be much larger than the current number of personal driver hirers. Second, it depends on how many years it will take for manufacturers to sell these cars at competitive prices. In the early years of market entry, autonomous passenger transport will likely be an elite consumer product. Another danger for users could be system failures, which can be considered through two typical scenarios. The first scenario involves a mixed traffic flow of regular cars and autonomous vehicles of various levels. The algorithms of levels L2, L4 will be set to standards of behavior of the most cautious and law-abiding drivers, likely reducing user risks in mixed traffic. The second scenario pertains to a homogeneous flow consisting solely of L5 autonomous vehicles. The most expected development is the transformation of traffic management into managing the collective behavior of automatons. Positive and negative consequences for society. The implementation of autonomous vehicles will lead to the reformatting of parking spaces. Autonomous vehicle users will not need to leave their cars in high-tariff parking zones as they can send them to cheaper locations. Thus, various parking areas in city centers can be converted into more useful urban objects. Furthermore, there will be a reduction in energy consumption and environmental pollution. Autonomous vehicles should also promote car sharing. Conversely, autonomous transport will accelerate urban sprawl since the distance from home to work will no longer be a critical factor. Other anticipated negative consequences include increased infrastructure costs, reduced demand for public transport services, and diminished interest in other future mobility solutions. It is currently hard to imagine what L5-level autonomous vehicles will look like in the near future. However, our current understanding of the triangle, home, work, and the transportation connection between them will undoubtedly undergo a fundamental transformation. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel and remember, the best way to predict your future is to create it.